All right, and we are live.
Uh-oh. Say something.
What's the matter? Can you not hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you sound like a robot.
Okay, you stay put. I'm
Okay.
gonna get out, and I'll be right back. And hi, guys. Whoever's here.
Well, I think I can see who is here.
And how do I sound now?
Much better.
Okay, perfect.
Muy bien.
Okay. Hear this again.
Okay.
All right. There we go.
Yay.
Remove that just for a second. So today, because I did not have time to do anything with Chiron, so we're going to be touching on Chiron tomorrow. However, for this evening, we are going to be touching on the North Node and the South Node. And in Vedic astrology, that would be referred to as Rahu and Ketu. And hi, guys. I see 2 people watching. Thank you for joining us tonight. This is a first.
I was just on there trying to look, but I couldn't see.
Yeah. So first things first, Rahu, which is like your North Node. Well, you know what? Let's just get started reading and we'll just share it like that rather than. So just so that we understand, we're going to be talking about the moon's nodes. Oh, I know why, but that's all right. So there are 2 other symbols that will appear on the chart, and they are your North Node and your South Node. These are not actual physical bodies. They are like the angles that you would see like in astrology, you know, like squares and sextiles and stuff like that. They're like points in space. The nodal orbits arise from the intersection of the moon's orbit with the plane of the ecliptic. And what that means, the ecliptic means the path of the sun and the planets as they appear to revolve around the earth. That's the elliptic. Or, am I saying that right? Ecliptic. So these nodes represent a polarity, right? Problems arise when we remain fixated in the South Node's realm and deny the path to our future developments that are shown in our North Node signs and house positions. So give me just 1 second, Sissy. Let me pause this just for a minute because I know why we have watchers. And this was my bad because unfortunately, if you're watching and you are not a member, you're probably going to be like kicked off. Yeah, because these are for members only. And for some reason, it does not want to show up for me. There we go. So bear with me. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. There we go. Sorry. Anybody that's watching, my apologies. All right. Now, hopefully we can. Hi, sweetie. All right. So anyways, getting back to it. It's because I forgot to put it on members. So, and these are for members only. So I have to be careful.
Yep.
All right. So the North Node. Sissy, do you want to read what the North Node is? And you can see off to the left, I have put, that is what the sign looks like. Sometimes it's not going to show that the little circles are filled in. They're going to look empty, I think, most of the time. And this is a sign that shows ascending. And in Vedic, it is Rahu. It's named Rahu. Okay.
All right. Well, so the north node ascending shows where the moon crosses the sun's path from south to north. It is also referred to in Chinese astrology as the dragon's head. In the birth chart, it is a symbol of spiritual power and integration. It depicts the future and represents how new learning experiences can lead to personal growth. Karma we create in this lifetime.
Right. So this is not necessarily the karma that we have brought over from a past life. It's what we create in this lifetime that could possibly go into our next life.
Oh,
see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll see more as we start breaking it down.
Okay.
So the south node, which is referred to in Vedic astrology, is K2. That's the descending. So you'll see it's like the little loop, which I can't, well, here, whoops, there we go, the little loop. But this way, it's the circles are on the top. The little circles are on the top. So once you see that, but more than likely, you're going to see on your chart just the north node, and you know that they are opposing. So let's say, for instance, if it is in your first house, then your south node would be in your seventh house, and vice versa. If it was in your seventh house, it would be in your first house, because
I gotcha.
you see how that works. It's just like your ascending and your descending signs.
Okay. All right.
So the south node is formed when the moon travels from a northerly to a southerly celestial latitude. And it is also referred to as the dragon's tail in Chinese astrology. The south node, lying directly opposite the north node, points to our base of operation and the sum total of the knowledge that we have carried over from a past life. It represents a source, innate talent, or ability with which we have been born, and it often expresses itself at early age. We can use these said skills to enhance our lives and make a contribution to others and society. And this is the karma that we have brought over from a past life. So this is why we probably have like some innate skills. Okay, because if it's karma, then it doesn't necessarily mean it's karmic debt. It could be. And if you do have karmic debt, which that's a whole other thing with numerology and all that, but if you do have karmic debt, and this would be an indicator as to what it could possibly be, based on what house it's in, based on what sign it's in. Okay. So the whole point of the north node and the south node is to bring about balance. So for the polarity to remain balanced, both sides must be equally represented. It is recommended that you use the north node or the south node as a base of operation while moving forward into the path of the north node and future growth. So, I mean, it's almost like Chiron, if you think about it, like stuff that you maybe didn't finish or that you were very skilled at. And that was the karma that you had from your past life, which is your south node, that you're bringing into this life. So you have a skill. So let's go on to the next page. And I did email this to everybody as well, these 3 pages. So the best way to know how to find it is you're going to find it on your astrology chart by your north node, which is not your south node. So let's go down here and look at the north nodes and look at the symbol. So go and find that particular symbol. Thank you, honey. Find that particular symbol in your chart. So my north node is, well, let's see what my husband's is. I have his chart right here. And you know what? I'm even going to pull it up for you. Okay. Do you see? I don't know if you can see that. in the house of Aquarius, there is the little North Node sign. You see it there?
Mm-hmm.
And that is in his 6th house. So if that's his 6th house, then his 1st house, or I mean his, I keep going back and forth. So his South Node
Is in the 12th house.
Well, wait a minute. Okay. Let me go down here. All right. His North Node is in the 6th house. Yes, the 12th house would be his North Node, or I mean his South Node. So, and his is in Aquarius. So his South Node would be in Pisces. So the South Node, whoops, let me find it here. The South Node in Pisces, these are the skills that he's bringing from his previous life, would be using empathy of compassion to see unity in all things. So maybe in a past life, he wasn't the kindest person, or he was super kind. You see what I'm saying? And he learned that lesson, but either way, he's coming to this life with extra skills in that particular area. And why is that needed? Because we show here the North Node, if it is overemphasized, or I'm sorry, the South Node, if it's overemphasized and you're too focused on it, it means that you try to escape. And think about Pisces. They can be known as being dreamy and into the fantasy world, and not always super grounded. You know what I mean? Not always seeing reality. And that's what this means. The South Node in this particular sign of Pisces would show excessive escapism or lack of realism and victimization, which my husband is not like that at all. So he is very balanced. However, with his North Node in Aquarius, or wait a minute, where would that be? Did I have that messed up?
I have a question for you. So like my North Node is Pisces and it's in the 7th house. So that puts my South Node in the 1st house, even though
Right.
that's Aries. Virgo resides in my 1st house. Does that mean anything?
So if we go to the houses, this is the last sheet.
Okay.
And you said yours was in what? Say that again.
My that would be my South Node in the 1st house of Aries, but yet it's Virgo that resides in my 1st house.
Okay, wait a minute. Well, this is okay.
So
Your
that's
7th house, right?
Okay.
They're different things.
Okie dokie.
They both are in that house.
Okay.
So the 7th house, your is it your North Node is in the 7th house of Pisces, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the 7th house learns how to work with others for the North Node. That's like the balance. Whereas the 1st house then would carry your South Node, because they're directly opposite each other. So an overemphasis on the South, which means that your talent that you brought from your past life would have been something that had to do with being independent, or so either you learned how to rely on yourself in your past life, or you didn't learn how to rely on yourself in your past life. And now this is the emphasis in this life that either if it's karmic debt, you have to work through it, or you're coming in with a really good skill. Either way, you've like packed yourself with this skill of independence and relying upon yourself. But when it's overly emphasized, which we show in the first house, you can be like self-centered.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh no, never.
But that's not saying that you are. It's saying if this part is overemphasized, if you're too focused on your self node, right? And this is where your balance comes in your 7th house of Pisces, which is learns how to work with others.
Right.
Okay. I think we're getting this. So my husband's, what did we say? His is in Aquarius, right? In the
You said 6th house? Yeah.
Yes. So his north node. All right. See, I'm confusing myself with this N that doesn't help that this light's in the way. Okay, so his south node, or no, his north node, right, is in the 6th house. So his south node would be in the 12th house, excessive desire to retreat from the world and avoid reality. So the way that he would balance that out is learn to function with ease in the world and responsibilities. And see, he is very responsibility bound. But he also doesn't have any karmic debt based on his numerology either. I'm the one that does. So let's look at mine. And Jen, if you know what yours is, put it in here, sweetie, and we can help you figure it out a little bit. All right, so mine is in my 8th house, and it is Aquarius in my 8th house. So share physical and emotional resources would be to balance it out. So the counter to that would be the 2nd house of, if I'm overemphasizing it, measuring one's value based on wealth and possessions. So if I'm overly emphasizing my south node, okay. So what this can also mean, if you go back here and look at, yes. So in my last life, and oh my gosh, I can't tell you how true this is. My major focus in this life has always been security, worrying about security, because we grew up so friggin' poor. I mean, honestly, we grew up so poor, and moving around from house to house, there was always issues with worrying about security. You know, where were we going to have to move next? So even as an adult, that's why I get like so stressed when the thought of moving or anything like that comes up, or worrying about losing a job, and actually I've gotten way better at that. But that's also why I'm always thinking about what can I do to ensure that we're going to be okay in the future, money-wise, security-wise, financial. So it says here, being resourceful, but it also was, if you're looking at the signs, Taurus, material attachments and resistant to change. So either in a past life, there was no security, and maybe I had to be uprooted a lot, or maybe I had too much money, you know, or I had a lot of money in my previous life. But I will tell you, in one of my past life readings, what I did was, or what I discovered was that I told you about this, that I had been a Native American during the time of the Trail of Tears, and we were being migrated. So I lost like everything, security, like thousands and thousands of Native Americans passed away during those trails, you know, during that migration. And so, and I was also put in prison Remember me telling you that? I was a prisoner, and I also suffered from like chronic health, which has also been another issue in like several of my past lives, working through health issues. And I see a lot of stuff in my astrology, in my 6th house of health also, like tons of Scorpio energy, which is transformation. All right, so it says ascending node, not sure if that's north node. Yes, ascending is your north node, and descending, or do I got that wrong? It's on the paper here. Yes, your north node is ascending.
Yeah.
North or south, but it is in the 7th house of Gemini. Okay, so what that means is your 7th house, well, first of all, Gemini, information collection and instruction. So that is what your strengths are, that you're coming into this life with a strong ability to obtain information and then teach that information. And then, or, give instruction on what you're learning. So that is what you are strong at. And your north node, is that right? And Gemini. So the 7th house. Wait a minute. Let me go down here. The second, it's always easier for me with the houses for some reason. Okay. The 7th house learns how to work with others is your north node. Right?
And then she said Gemini is her.
Well, that is. Picture looks like north node. That makes perfect sense. Otherwise, south node is in Sagittarius. Right. I'm wondering if I did these wrong, if I copied them wrong, because I'm getting a little bit confused. All right. North node in the 7th house in Gemini. All right. So 7th house would be here. Learns how to work well with others. And then it would be overemphasis on self. So that would also be being independent. That doesn't make sense, right?
No, yeah, see, something's off because, see, mine is in the 7th house, but it's Pisces. So the fact that hers is Gemini and Sagittarius should be something different than mine, correct?
Well, I mean, it's still. Okay, let me see here. So the 3rd house, houses, 3rd house Gemini. But this is for south node. Right.
Uh-huh.
Okay, the north node, if the north node is in the 7th house, yeah, the 1st house would be Aries. Okay. So, but that's maybe I'm making it too simple. Maybe it's supposed to be both aspects. I'm thinking maybe that's what it is. So, for instance, if it's in, wait a minute.
Yeah, you've got the nodes and the signs. So like my north node is Pisces. She said hers is Gemini and yours is Aquarius. So you've got that here, the balance provided. Let's see. I think that's on the 2nd page. The nodes and the signs, the overemphasis, and then the balance provided.
Okay, 100. Okay, that's what I mean. It's both.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making it too simple. It's both because those are not the correct houses. Those are just under the nodes in the signs. And then we go down to the next page, which is the nodes in the houses and how that works in the houses. Okay, so let's try to reconstruct this again. So with hers being, her south node would be Sagittarius. So an overemphasis could be overly impractical concerns. Okay. In the 7th house, well, wait a minute. So her south node on facts and immersion and trivia. Overemphasis on facts and immersion and trivia, which is under the sign, under the seventh house, the north node, seventh house, learns how to work with others. Okay, so what I'm thinking that means is, let me ask you, do you have a problem sometimes with accumulating information and sharing that information with other people, or asking other people to help in that, along with that? Because Carla, yours would be different too.
Yeah, mine would be.
Why would they show
Virgo.
both? It's got to be for the houses and the signs. You see what I mean? You got to incorporate all of it.
Yeah, mine would be Virgo. My south node.
Your south node is Virgo. In the house of Virgo?
Just as my south node would be Virgo, because that's the opposite of Pisces, right?
So perfecting and refining form in the sign. Let's see what it says in the sign of Virgo. Too judgmental and overly efficient. OCD. Can you find yourself like that? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And so for me, it did make sense, but mine was in Aquarius.
Mm-hmm.
So Aquarius, an overemphasis. No. The other one would have been Leo, right? My south node was in Leo and my north node was in Aquarius. So my south node, if we're looking at the actual signs here, south node would be Leo. Too prideful, elitism, and self-important. And I can see that sometimes. I try not to, but I could see if I just could become an ass. Just keeping it real, right?
Yep.
Okay. But then it's in my house. Then we go into the houses. Okay. And it was in my eighth house. My eighth house, share physical and emotional resources, because it's in my north node is in my eighth house. So my north node, if balance is provided, then I am sharing the information that I am receiving, just like right now. So I am balancing out by the information that I am taking in by offering it up, right? Okay. But security is in there also, which I could see, because if I wanted to hold on to it and only offer certain information at a price, then I would be too stuck on the security part of it as well. Do you see what I mean?
So now, actually, so what you're doing is you're finding your north node, and then you've got it just right. Whatever, like if your north node is Libra, then your south node is Aries.
Right.
So, and you've got that good. So then you get that, and then you find where it is in your house, and then that's how you figure that as you go down.
You merge them together. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
after this is over, down below, just so you know, there was this really good video that I watched. It was two ladies. One did Western astrology. The other one did Vedic astrology. And they were using like movies in order to interpret how these different nodes, and they went through all of them. It was really fascinating and showing. And mine happened to be like Sabrina, the movie Sabrina. Do you remember that one with Harrison Ford and Kevin, whatever his name is? But it was a remake where she ended up falling in love with one of the boys that her father was like a chauffeur for, rich family, but he didn't see her. So she ended up going off to Paris in order to go to school, and she just changed. She became a different person. She transformed. Right. And when she came back, then both of the guys were kind of like in love with her. So, I mean, it was like a transformative kind of movie, but that is a really good show, or I mean, a really good video. So I will, after I find it again, I will put it down below in the description for you to go and check it out, because it merges it a little bit. But I'm gonna, because I made these like right at the last minute before we did this tonight. So I haven't really had a whole lot of time in order for this to really soak in. So I need to really look at my own. And I hope that these sheets will help you guys to be able to like merge yours together as well. But just remember that your North Node has to do with the karma that you brought, or the karma that you are creating in this lifetime. And the South Node has to do with the karma that you brought in from a past life.
Mm.
Whether that's experience or what have you. So, and she says, I am always learning and teaching. I have since as long as I can remember. Exactly. Yeah. So that's part of like why you're here, actually, to look at the bigger picture. Do you know a lot about astrology already, honey? Or are you here because you are trying to implement that? Because I know you're trying to be supportive, but you might already know a lot about astrology. I don't know. Uh-oh, I hear somebody coughing. Yeah. So I am trying to implement it. Yeah. Yeah. Have these been helpful at all, the worksheets? I don't know a whole lot yet. Okay. All right. So if you have questions, always you can leave questions here for us. You can leave questions down below. You can email me questions, and I will try to figure it out, and help you with that as well. So, and Sissy, what about you?
I can't wait to get started on doing a couple videos on like your major and minor lines in the hands, because just from, learning about my North Node and then my South Node, kind of what I was listening to today on palmistry, they're eerily similar.
To yours?
Yeah, to the things I was finding out about in my hand are similar to the things I'm finding out in my birth chart. So it's just, there's so many synchronicities there. It's actually pretty cool.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate you making it this evening. I know it's not always so easy. This is like the best time that Carla can do it with me, because she works all during the week. And I mean, after she makes dinner, she's got just a little bit of time in order for her to make this, and then off to bed, and it starts all over again. She's a busy working lady.
Yeah, I can't wait for that crap to end.
Exactly. I hear you. So, all right. Well, I think we've got pretty much all that we can get, and I'm going to delve in a little bit deeper with this one this week.
At the beginning of the video, you said we were going to touch on the Chiron tomorrow.
Oh, I meant Chiron next time. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured we better clarify that.
Yes, thank you. I say just off the wall stuff sometimes. Chiron is actually, though, Chiron, just to put it in simple terms, although we are going to address Chiron and Black Lilith next week. Yeah, Black Moon Lilith. But Chiron, I know intimately, is it's the centaur that was wounded. And then he was always full of pain. I don't have the exact story here with me, but he was always so full of pain that he actually learned how to heal himself. So wherever Chiron is in your chart and what house it falls into, that is one of the cornerstone lessons that you have to learn in your lifetime. Mm-hmm. That you then turn around and become the healer of, or the teacher of. It's like one of your major struggles, and it's like an accumulation kind of thing. You know what I mean? So later in life, that's what you actually become the healer of. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
So that
that is.
kind of information is neat. Exactly. All right. Well, I hope you have a wonderful evening, sweetie. And we're trying to keep these around 30 minutes so that they don't go overboard because, we can easily, yeah. Thank you for showing up. And like I said, if you have any questions, just email me or leave me comments or whatever. And, this one I'm definitely going to delve a little bit deeper into, but yeah. So I hope you have a wonderful evening. And thank you, Sissy.
Thank you.